That's right, Tubbsy. Well, Jamie Lee is there because tomorrow something very exciting is happening and she's coming to you live from Boerkaap to give you all of the action.
Good morning, Mzansi. This morning we are crossing to you live from Boerkaap in Cape Town. I'm meeting with founder and owner of 360 Degrees Humans, Gina Levy. She's all about talking about a new business venture into the wellness space. And here to tell us all about it, she's looking fresh for this morning. How are you?
I'm really excited and I'm happy to be here.
I mean, with a backdrop like this, we have Lion's Head, we have Table Mountain. It is a bit of a gloomy morning this morning, but it's okay. Very chilled. It is the perfect backdrop for tomorrow evening. But tell us about this new venture into the wellness space, because you really are encouraging people to live a whole being lifestyle.
Thank you, Jamie. So the idea really is to disrupt and democratize well-being in a way that invites everybody to participate. So what we've done is we actually are giving it a little bit of a twist and calling it whole being, because the idea is that you can be well without being whole. But if you're whole, you really are well in so many other things. So it's about our mind, our body, our spirit, our emotions, and it really does define us as human beings. We aren't one area of our being. We are an entirety. And so what we want to do is actually showcase and bring what's good for all of us into the mainstream in a way that is very accessible and inclusive. So by defaulting to a space within the city where everybody works and lives is a very easy and convenient way for people to show up and come and have fun at the same time, because you've got to make something that is usually perceived as something that is hard work or non-exciting to something that is actually incredibly versatile on the one hand, because we're offering so many different things, as well as something that they can just hop over to and join as a way of living whole, I should say.
And I love that. I love that you are encouraging people to live whole, you know, because a lot of people try to compartmentalize what being healthy means. Is it just physical? Is it just emotional? Is it just spiritual? But this incorporates absolutely everything when it comes to this. And again, with a backdrop like this, it really encourages people to come out there, move their bodies, move their space. Because I think as we start 2022, a lot of people has this mindset now to live a healthier lifestyle. But what can people expect tomorrow at Rooftop Retreats?
Well, Rooftop Retreats is really an idea to elevate. So elevate oneself both on a physiological level as well as on a philosophical and spiritual level, all of the above. And we are having this on different city rooftops, but tomorrow happens to be in the Boerkaap. And it's this, as we said, this beautiful backdrop, and hopefully it will be sunny tomorrow. Well, it will be sunny tomorrow, and there's going to be a yoga, a mindful movement meditation practice with Laura Roo, who you'll be experiencing shortly, and a beautiful sound journey with these vocal alchemists, Lauren Hofmeyer and Gavin Marshall. So it's really going to be something unusual. We're trying to bring something different every time, every month. It's midweek, mid-month, and we want to essentially open this up as a space that is inviting to everybody.
What was that aha moment where you said, you know what, I really need to bring this to the city. I need to showcase what my journey was to inspire other people?
Well, it really is always a personal journey at the end of the day. And when you look around and you see that we all go through cycles of burnout, we've all unfortunately had that experience. And when you want to go, well, what am I going to do about it and how can I change this? So this is a way to actually, like I said, make it convenient so it becomes people's default. And when we're all in a space that is so demanding and so pressurizing, where there's just, where we're always on the go and on the move, this is a place of respite. So we call it our sanctuary in the sky. It's where you can come and literally have a short retreat. And the idea is to inspire you to actually take in these tools, because we'll expand over time, where it becomes much more of an educational setting as well. And you take that into your daily life and your workspace, and you actually start to implement it so that we don't go through these burnout cycles. And if you look at COVID, it's been such a wake-up call for everybody, because it's now become something that is hugely desirable and understood in a way that it never was previously.
Jeannie, you touched on it briefly. You said, you know, it's all about whole being. What exactly does that mean to you?
Well, like I've just said, I think that we haven't really had the tools. If you look at our education system as an example, we work in our heads a lot. There's very little connection between the rest of us. So it's kind of like, this is our education from the neck up, and from the neck down, we really are struggling. And so it's how do you start to integrate the system? And it's not just your own inner ecosystem. We're also talking about the external ecosystem, which is nature. So we've also become very disassociated with nature. In Cape Town, we're really lucky because we've got this beautiful natural backdrop, but at the same time, we haven't brought it into our workspaces and our homes sufficiently enough, because what it really does is it enhances our well-being. I mean, you know that every time you're in nature or going for a walk, it changes your entire being. So that's one of the things that we're talking about when we speak about holism.
Sold. I can't wait to join tomorrow evening, 6 p.m. the Rooftop at Against the Grain Coffee. It is in Wales Street. It is 250. Tickets are on sale right now, but we are going through a yoga flow in just a bit. So you want to stick around for that. Rooftop Retreats. Gina Levy, it's been amazing chatting to you. I know you're going to give us some more inside scoop about what whole being means to you, but stick around for that in Zanzi.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Hopefully you're taking all sorts of inspiration from the content we have brought through today. It's all about a holistic life that considers a well-being unlike you can imagine. And Jamie Lee is standing by.
Well, thank you, Uncle Tabsy. We are back again at Against the Grain in Boerkaap in the Mother City, and I'm chatting to founder and owner of 360 Degrees Human, Gina Levy, ahead of tomorrow's event, 6 p.m. You want to be in the Mother City. It's all about wholesomeness, because wholesome is the new awesome. That is our motto. That is our slogan for the day. But really, we got a taster earlier on what to expect tomorrow evening. But what, Gina, in your opinion, makes this experience just so unique?
Well, I think the fact that we've actually decided to elevate this experience and make it outdoors. So obviously, you know, we've had a lot of restrictions about people gathering, but that wasn't so much the impetus as much as it is about bringing people outside and having them being much more in touch with their surroundings and nature, and having an overview of the city actually in a way that they can't from, you know, the ground. So it actually changes your perspective on many levels. It also opens up, it's quite a novelty to be on a rooftop and to experience and do movement and meet new people. So it was also about getting to know the city on another level and redefining your own experience with it.
And it's not just going to be at one location. I believe it's going to be a pop-up location and just give people different views of the city, different experience every single time, which is so amazing.
Exactly. So what we want to do is we want to kind of make it, I suppose, democratize that in a sense. And there are beautiful places within the city. In fact, you know, I'm lucky enough to have been on quite a lot so far. And I have to say that I've seen incredible spaces. So why not share it with the public who usually don't have the opportunity to come up to these spaces, and to do it in a way where there's actually something that's incredible that's being offered.
And something you mentioned early on, it's not just about, you know, Wednesday. This is only just the beginning. You launched it in December. Tomorrow, it's again another soft launch. But it's also about incorporating this into workspaces, in workplaces again, which is again so exciting for people to go to work and have this holistic feel when they step into that workspace. Tell us a bit more about that.
Exactly, Jamie. So what's happened now, obviously, is that people kind of are working from home. So there's a huge vacuum in the city in a way. So this is a big draw card back into the city where we want to hybridize the workspaces. A lot of property developers are quite worried because they're sitting with empty spaces, but they're also sitting with spaces that are quite archaic in a sense and are reflective of an old way of being. So the idea is to reinvent and re-engineer spaces, to bring nature, to integrate nature more into it. And what I mean by that is natural ventilation, natural lighting, bringing in plants, moving workspaces around, because what that does is it actually enhances your well-being. And you all know this, you know, once we are in nature, we feel different. It's this concept of vitamin N, actually. And so that's on the one aspect. And the other idea is to take what we're doing at Rooftop Retreats and actually create these bespoke lunchtime pop-ups for different workspaces, so that so employees or tenants within those buildings can actually take time out in their day, within their day, because unless you actually make this a daily practice, it's not going to be of value. And the whole idea is to turn us into much more holistic beings through holistic experiences. And if one can't afford that outside of the work environment, then this is a way for employers to actually make it available to everybody.
I was speaking to Laura earlier and I said, you know what, I wish I could start my day like this every single day, and now I can. But how can our viewers out there get in touch with you and keep up to date with all these events that you're arranging in the city?
So there are two things. One is Wholebeing Wednesday, which is really the umbrella platform for what we're doing at Rooftop Retreats. And that's an invitation to all of those in the holistic industry, from wellness entrepreneurs to healers to practitioners, to come and actually create their own pop-ups within the city on that day. And they can collaborate with galleries or museums or restaurants to actually bring an offering that's conducive to what we're doing, and at the same time, they can collaborate with us and actually work with us on these rooftop spaces. So it really is quite an open invitation to come. And you know, there are incredible products in this industry. There's a lot of eco-retail that's happening. So we're also trying to educate the public about conscious capitalism and and holism as a whole. And the other thing is that Rooftop Retreats, as we said, will be on different venues throughout the year. With very different offerings each time. So the movement, for example, won't always be yoga. It could be qigong, it could be somatics, it could be fascia movement, it could be functional range conditioning. There really are a plethora of practitioners in the city that we just want to introduce to the public, and they can take it from there.
You are amazing. You and Laura have really just set the pace for Wholebeing Wednesdays. Thank you so much for joining us to this beautiful rooftop in Workup in the Mother City. Looking forward to tomorrow. Again, I'm Zanzi. Tomorrow evening against the grain. Come out here, 250 Rand. Hit them up on social media as well. 6 o'clock, bring your yoga mat, bring a jacket if the weather turns out bad. However, all you have to do is bring the good vibes, and it's back to you guys in studio.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, what an eventful morning at Against the Grain Coffee in Workup in the Mother City, finishing off what has been an amazing Tuesday ahead of Wholesome Wednesdays tomorrow. I'm still chatting to the owner and founder of 360 Degrees Human, Gina Levy, and as I can see, she already has a cup of coffee. I got myself a cup of coffee. Gina, thank you so much for this morning. I mean, refreshed, reset, ready for tomorrow. Again, why should people come out tomorrow? 6 o'clock, 250 Rand. That is all the details. It's on our strap right now. But why should people come out tomorrow?
Because it's the most amazing thing that's happening in the city right now, quite frankly. It's exciting, it's novel, it's going to be good for you, it's a wholesome experience, and like we said, wholesome is the new awesome. So come and experience it. They're going to be once a month, it's midweek, mid-month, on repeat, and with different people every single time. So you'll never have the same experience twice.
And we don't want that. We want everything to be a new experience. We've also been speaking about sleep on the show today. Do you have any top tips for our viewers when it comes to optimizing a good night rest?
Well, one is, I would definitely say screen time. So that's a really big thing. At least 2 hours before you go to sleep, turn it off, because that stimulates you. Digestion. So again, each 2 to 3 hours before you go to sleep. Meditate before you go to sleep, which will really kind of just bring you down, calm your nervous system, and send your body into a very calm state, so that you can have a very restful sleep.
You've really given us so many top tips. We can, again, give us your social media handles where can people get hold of you, not just for tomorrow's events, but future things that you are planning in the city and planning in the corporate space as well.
Great. So rooftop_retreats with an S on the end, or Wholebeing Wednesday, singular, or DM us specifically if you want to be part of this experience, if you want to participate under Wholebeing Wednesday, or if you want a rooftop retreat as a business, just speak to us. We're very happy to collaborate and explore these ideas with you.
What an epic morning, a yoga flow, so much information with regards to the Wholebeing space. Like we said, wholesome is the new awesome. We're going to finish up with a beautiful cup of coffee at Against the Grain. Again, tomorrow evening, 6 p.m. in Workup in the Mother City, 250 Rand gets you into this awesome event that teaches you all about who you are, how to come out for 2022. But again, it was been amazing just connecting with all of you. So have a beautiful Tuesday further, and we'll see you after this. Cheers. Cheers.
Thanks, Jamie.